Okay, folks, so welcome back. We're still resetting this running body of ours. So we've done worked on different things each week. So this week is more about lengthening through the spine. So there's a lot of issues often for runners with back care. And there's often, even if there's not any pain or discomfort, there's often a lack of strength or a feeling of support through the spine when we run. So good reason to focus on that. So we're going to be able to do some lengthening, but we're also going to do some releasing work as well, so that we can feel more comfortable in lengthening through both the front body and the back body. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the hands near the front of the mat, and we're going to take the toes under, so tuck the toes under. Initially we're on all fours, with this sort of tabletop position. So from here we're going to round the back into cat. We're going to take the cat behind us, so bum heads towards the heels. We keep that roundness in the back. We come back into neutral. So this time when we go back, we just push back and lengthen. Come forward again into neutral, and then go into cat and return. Come back into neutral. So this time, I'm going to take the feet further back, knees further back. And I'm going to push back, so we get more length this time through the spine. So bum goes back, up and back. So we feel length down side body, as well as through the spine, lower back extension. So keep the belly, giving a little bit of support. So that means it feels like the belly's coming in up and lifting up slightly. And then come into your cat. And then come back into a more neutral spine. Back into cat. Take the bum towards the heels. Don't go as far, come back cat-like until you come back into neutral. Go back into extension and just have a play now between cat coming back and lengthening coming back. So we just come into neutral, we come into cat and go back a wee way. And we'll just alternate to get the length. Really feel like you're reaching back if you can through your bum sitting bones when you do full reach. Okay, so when you do your next one, what we're going to do is we're going to come down onto our bellies, and just for a moment, you're going to come back in, you're going to come into Sphinx position. Okay, just see how that feels. Then we're going to take the elbows out, take the head, full head to the stacked hands if that's comfortable. If you need to look one way or the other way, then do so. And then just get the knees in line with the hips and bend one knee, and then we do this circling to create a little bit more release. So we've done some lengthening, now we're doing some release for the hip, particularly the hip, but for the other muscles. And this will get into the lower back slightly for most of us as you do these release circles. So we've already lengthened a little bit through the front body by being in Sphinx, even though it was for a moment. And we were lengthening through the spine, but that would also have been lengthening through the front body when we took the bum back towards the heels. So rotating that foot and lower leg in the opposite direction. Looking for freedom and ease, so we can get loose around the hips, particularly is what we're looking for here. Okay, and then relax that leg down, just go to the second side, bend the knee, And do those circles on the second side. Finding your happy circuit, pace, rhythm. Circuit the other way. When you're ready. Really feeling into the hip movement, both releasing and kind of energizing, warming that area up through the movement. Okay, and then release both legs. Okay, so coming up onto the forearms, we're keeping the chest low so that we do this movement where we bring the one knee up towards the elbow and then sweep that back down. Look the other way, take that knee up towards the elbow and back down. So just this kind of climber move or sort of crawling motion, but we don't get anywhere. As we twist from one side to the other again, we're working with the hips here, side body lengthening after it shortens to create a little bit more space, and we're doing kind of a spiraling movement through the whole body. Okay, and then come a little bit higher, see how you are in Sphinx position this time, how it feels, so particularly through the front body, feeling like you've got a lift through the sternum here, and hopefully feel safe still in the lower back. Okay, great. So we're going to take the elbows wide and we're going to come back up onto all fours. We'll come initially into knees below hips and wrists below shoulders, and we'll cat-cow again for a moment. So we weren't doing the cow before, so we've got a little bit more of what we're used to. Can have the toes untucked this time if it feels pleasant. Prefer the toes tucked under, then that's fine. We'll be in a minute anyway. Okay, and then let's take the knees back. Again, this time with the toes untucked, we sit back towards the heels to get the length. We come back up into shoulders above wrists. So we're leaving the cat bit out, we're just going forward and back, but we'll get more option to go back because we've got the heels down, but it'll be less active, feeling through the backs of the legs. Hopefully we've done some release work through back of the tendons of the ankle and back of the calf. Okay, so next time we're up onto all fours. We get the knees back underneath the hips, we get the toes tucked under. So just pick one knee up and then the other knee up. One knee up and then the other knee up. So it is, you're not taking it out to the side, you're just lifting, 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 lifting. And then after one or two more, both sides, then you lift both knees up and down and up and down. So a little bit of strengthening. So it's hopefully it's not too much going on there, but also we've done a little bit of hip work prior to that. So from here, we're going to come up a little higher. So we're going to bring one foot forward, tuck the back toe under if you feel that's an option for you. And from this position, we'll just lengthen through the arms, reaching up a little bit here without overly working the chest. So we want the chest to come in and up, belly to come in and up to some extent. And then we go side to side into a little bit more of a side bend again, working with the side body, getting the spine to move in not just lengthening position, but also to get some side to side movement. And we're getting into a twist in a moment. Okay, so let the arms come down, swing for a moment. If you need to rest that back foot, then you can untuck the toes if you need to for a moment. And we're going to do twist. We're going to do the twist in both ways. So sometimes I feel more comfortable if I take my front foot over to the moment to the little toe side. So I've got my left foot down. So I'm going to take my left fingertips down and sweep my top arm up into a twist. And then I'm going to swap over and bring my fingertips down and go to the other side. So joining me in that first side, lengthening. And if the when you bring the leg inside, the kind of to the inside of the foot, and it feels too strong, then just kind of raise the elbow a little bit without taking the arm all the way up. So we're not staying. Last time we're doing some pausing and movements. Certainly with this one, there's no pause. There's just a lengthen for a moment and then an extension into that twist. Okay, so option is to continue doing any of those movements we've just done, but if you feel you can lift the back knee off the floor, and you just need to realign that front foot, so you might need to bring that heel and toe back in so that you can take your hands onto your thigh. This might be enough. If you feel like you can extend the arms up above you, then do that. You're facing forward at this point. Lengthening, well done. Hands come back onto the thigh. And if you can get the back heel down and come in for a moment into your warrior pose, that would be great. Okay, we're not staying here. We're bringing hands back, we're twisting back the foot onto, back onto the toes of the foot, and we're coming down. Yeah, hands down, release options. So when we do it this way, you may have noticed you've probably got a really long positioning for the warrior two pose. So if that was too strong, then you just need to kind of hop a little bit with the front foot or the back foot to get that from feeling too unstable. It's good to have the length if your body can cope with that. So it's going to be the second side. So bringing the opposite foot forward. And initially lengthen again. Excuse me. Dipping there. Lengthening. Keep the neck soft though. And then side to side movements to get a little bit of the side body extension, one side then the other side. So it keeps the length and the strength, length through the spine, strength through the legs, so we can keep stable there as we take the arms from side to side. Okay, and then relax the arms down. Take the front foot slightly over to the little toe side so that you can create a little bit more of an open twist. Swap between sides. So we create a twist with the elbow towards the inside of the knee, and then more open twist of rib cage towards thigh. So try and keep that front leg stable and strong. And we just switch between the two. And if we're really not comfortable with one of them, then we just come down and come back up again on the same side. You don't have to extend the arm up, you just extend the elbow up. Okay, and from there, going to take just reposition yourself so your heel hasn't gone out, the foot hasn't gone out to the toe side too much. So you've got your ankle, knee, and hips in line. Just take your hands onto your thigh. You're going to pick your back leg up into warrior one. If you feel stable, you can take your arms up and extend. And then you can take your back foot down and into warrior. So back heel down. Then from there, coming back, hands on thigh, toes facing forward, knee coming down. Well done. And let's rest out of that movement now. Okay. So we're coming back to Hands at the front, take the knees further back. Toes, this time we'll tuck them under, take the bum back and come forward. Take the bum back, reach and lengthen. And then shoulders over wrists. Come back. Shoulders over wrists. Then crook the knees forward. So we're now in line, hips, knees below hips, shoulders above wrists. And we'll go back to cow-cow. Yeah. So we're going to come onto our back and do some bridge variations mainly. We'll do some things as well. Do diagonal arch and curl. So we're going to find our way onto our back. With the feet on the floor initially and the arms just rested by the side of the body, comfortable position away from the body. And just let the weight for a moment release. See how that is. And then we're going to lift the feet off the ground, knees bent, so that we get the lower back down towards the ground. We take the arms up, as we often do, towards the sky, palms facing each other, and we take the knees in one direction and the arms and shoulders in the opposite direction. So we get a little spiraling movement, twisting movement for the spine. Obviously, this is going to require a little bit of support through the core, in the thighs, and it can be activated a little bit too. Okay, and then legs down. So you're going to take, I think we did this last week, so we're going to take the hands underneath the head, elbow out to the side, the other arm's just resting. So we're going to alternate this time rather than doing a number of them on this side and then a number on the other side, which is what we often do. So from here, you're going to create a little bit of an arch from the elbow, shoulder area of the bent arm, the hand that's under the head, and the opposite hip, just a little bit of a kind of arch in that diagonal. And then we're going to bring the back down, belly in, so we can bring the elbow and the knee towards each other. So you lift the foot off the floor to spiral into the center. And you come back to base and you swap over hands. And you do the diagonal on the opposite side. So it's the side that you've got the hand underneath the head. Then you just push the shoulder down a little bit and the opposite hip for that arch. Bring the belly in. And you spiral in, elbow towards knee, and you spiral back. You release that hand and you swap. So just doing a few of these side to side. If you can remember to do the diagonal arch first, that's ideal. But if that doesn't make sense to the body, just leave that out. So just try and find ease as you swap over from side to side. So I'll do one more, so I'm equal on both sides. So just get equal, as it were, so you're doing both sides same number of times. And then pause. So you are going to need to move further forward. You're going to need enough room to take your arms over your head here. You're going to have your feet on the floor and your knees bent, so hopefully that doesn't create too much problems with space for you. So we go into bridge. So we're going to have, but this time we're going to have the palms down and the arms not jammed into the body, but reasonably close into the body. We need the heels reasonably close to the butt, if you remember. Okay, so we're going to create a bit more of an arch through the lower back, rolling on the pelvis. Then we take the lower back down and lift the pelvis up and come up to bridge. Whatever feels like we're doing a little bit of work to raise the pelvis, but we're not getting into a nasty issue with the lower back. Just pause here, just try and get all the toes down. And that will, particularly if you've got the big toe down, that might help avoid the knees sweeping out away from each other. The knees need to be in line with the hips and stable through the legs. Okay, then we're lifting one arm over the head. So if the shoulder isn't happy with this, obviously just stay where you are or do one arm. Yeah, the arm that's okay. Opposite arm over if the shoulder okay with that extension. So you're keeping the pelvis still in that high position. So that's the time we took the legs out, left the shoulders where they were, arms and shoulders. So a second repetition. And then we're going to come down and take a break. And once you're down, bring the knees in towards the chest. So the bum can rise a little bit, maybe to get the length through the back. Get the feet back to the floor. So this time what we'll do is we'll be taking both arms over if that's going to work for you. If it doesn't, then you can just try the arm that you're happy with and imagine the other arm doing it. Or you can just stay in a stable position and just pause it. So make sure the heels are reasonably close in towards the butt, in line with the sitting bones. Palms are down, arms are comfortably by your side. Do create a bit more of an arch as you roll onto your pelvis forward. Lower your back down, pelvis up, and just get to where you feel it's a comfortable height that you can hold. So once you're there, sweeping both arms over if you can, and then bringing them back. Sweeping both arms over, leaving the arms there as you bring the whole body down. Once you're back down, then bring the arms to sweep over. Just make sure your heels haven't chased away from your bum. Realign for another same set of movements. So from here, create the arch, create the flattening in the lower back, pick the pelvis up. Get to your happy place. Take both arms over. Chin comes into chest a little bit here. And back. Sweep it over again. Getting that length. And then let the lower, let the back, mid-back, and then lower back come to rest. Get that length. And then bring the whole body, both of the arms back as you land. Okay, so one more time. Just check the heels haven't chased away. Create a little bit of an arch. Don't need to do too much there. Get the lower back down. Lift the pelvis. And once you're in position, sweep both arms over. Both arms back. Both arms over. And lengthen your way down. Bring the arms back. And then just rest the arms in a comfortable position now so the palms can face up or in towards the body a little bit rather than having the palms down. So you might feel a little bit more aware of the upper back area. And you might be able to feel, even hopefully without putting any more effort in, you might be able to feel the breath a little bit more in the back body. So we've made a little bit more contact and done a little bit more work with that area. It's felt a little bit more the contact with the ground. The legs will still feel active even though we're not doing any work through them at the moment. Okay, so lengthening the legs out and away from you. Relax the feet, relax the arms. And just seeing how things are in the whole body just for a moment, then we'll do a movement, then we'll come back to rest. Okay, so bending the knees again, feet on the floor, lifting the feet off the floor, but taking the knees over to one side as far as you dare, bringing them back up, taking the knees over to the other side as far as they dare, so they don't quite touch the floor. And then they come back. And you don't need to have the heels really high. Down and over, and back up, and then second side. And back up. Feet can come down, legs can lengthen. And just relax the body there for a moment. See how things are. So get the feeling of the breath maybe back into the belly. That was a strongish movement, so you would have got core support there. Clicking in, feel the weight of the mid to upper back on the ground, any movement through that area, or even just any sensation there. Weight of the arms, weight of the legs now, rested. Belly soft, cheeks soft, throat rested. Eyes resting, palms and soles of the feet resting for a moment. Inner thighs relaxed, but relaxed. And then just bringing the knees into the chest, taking the hands to the shins just below the knees and doing little circles on the lower back. One way and then to the and then we'll roll over or rock up. And we're done. Yeah, so a bit more on the lengthening. So for most people's backs, that's a nice kind of process to go through. But for some of you, you might find some things really comfortable, some things less. So you know the recovery options around cat-cow, and particularly the cat, rather than over-exaggerating the cow part of that movement. And bringing the knees into the chest if you just need a little bit more time to just loosen that area up. Okay, thank you for coming. We have one final reset session next week, so hopefully you can join me then. See you next week.